Hi, Soul Family. Sorry about last night. Our message to Dream On got out really, really late, and I don't know why I was brought that the full moon was in Taurus. First of all, I got it one day early, which I always do, and then I got that it was in Taurus. The information was sent to me, and I was reading it, and that's why I was so shocked, because I knew it wasn't a full moon in Aries. We just had my full moon. So the butterfly was not coming to the Aries. The butterfly was coming to the Taurus. So whatever it was, the traumatic event or whatever, it's not coming to my sign at least. So I'm sorry for the confusion. No, I'm not that screwed up. I just literally was given the wrong information. So this is a really loud message to me right now, because I've also been given some information. You know, we've gotten that message that there was deception coming, right? We were going to be given information, or someone was going to offer us something, and it was going to cause us much pain and upset, and we were to not, we were to not do it. And remember last night I kept hearing do the right thing for the right reason. I feel like there's going to be an offer, or somebody's going to come forward, and you're going to be tempted. You're going to want to do it because it's what you really want, but it's going to cause you to have to either turn away from your path or what matters to you. And when it boils right down to it, it's not in your highest good. And I'm seeing that for myself, and it would be as if somebody were to come to me and say, you have to give up your path, or you can come with me, with someone that I love, you can come with me, but you have to leave Liger and Lily behind, because that's not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. I won't. I mean, I've already said it to Spirit. I won't go anywhere and leave them. And it's like you get the most horrible choices put in front of you. Two things you love the most, and you have to make a choice. And what are you going to do? And that's why I kept getting do the right thing for the right reason, right? I can never leave my path. There's all kinds of ways I can do my work, but I can never, and I never will leave my path. That's the message. I will not leave my path. As I said before, I would break my own heart before I did that, because that is my heart. That's where I have to be. So I don't know what's coming, and it sounds like it's a horrible thing to have to choose. Doesn't seem fair, does it? But it's almost like, I guess Spirit's final test for you about how much does whatever it is mean to you, right? I'm hoping that the information I was given is wrong, just like last night, because I can't imagine having what I want most put in front of me and be told that it's kind of like, choose which cat has to be put to sleep, Liger or Lily. Are you kidding me? Neither one of them. Well, you have to choose one. You can't. You can't. Cut my hand off instead, right? So, sorry if this is upsetting, but I'm upset, actually. Seems like it's a real tough choice that's going to have to come to some people. So we're going to do one card from this deck, and we'll do a card from the Shapeshifter Oracle, and then a card from the Angel Tarot. It's really cold weather today out there, and I don't know that I'm probably not going up to the mountains. I might just stay in here and do my reading here. Hope you guys don't mind. Oh, God. Say you won't let go. Someone is saying, say you won't let go. So this message, Angel de los Muertos, transition to the spirit realm. The message is talking about, it could be a spirit, someone coming from spirit that's crossed over, that's talking to you. But the main message that I get from this is that it's about, this angel comes forward to help you transition from one state to another. And what it's showing me, and what I always pick up from it, is that you don't have to leave this life in order to transition to your spirit life. There's ones that have been so sad, that have been so torn up, that they've, maybe someone has taken their life because they felt so unaccepted, or so confused about their path. It may be someone that you know that did this. Because this is the angel that takes souls back to spirit. Releases them from this earthly realm back into spirit. And it's weird. I've been seeing, I've said this for the last, I've said it for a while and I don't know what it means. That spirit keeps showing me the Day of the Dead. The Day of the Dead. And I know it's the day that they honor the ones that have passed and ones that have died. So she visits the one who have been left behind, the ones with memories. It's about the Rainbow Bridge, you know, brings the messages from the ones who are gone to the ones that are still here. And this one is telling you that she's bringing you a message from someone who has departed, but their presence is in your life, and they want you to know that they're resting well. It also may mean that you're about to meet a loved one that had passed in a new form. And Spirit wants you to stay open to that. Maybe someone's going to come to you in a dream. Because they have something that they need to tell you. A message that's going to give you proof that even though they're not here in spirit, you're still connecting with them. My mom used to do that a lot. She would come to me in spirit. So that's comforting, you know. It also tells you, as I said, that you don't have to leave this life in order to be reborn. There's a death that's happened and a rebirth that's happened, a transformation. And I was told a long time ago, about 2 years ago, that whatever you have lost in this past year, which meant the year before that, the loss may not eventuate, as in they're not gone, or they will be returned to you in a new form. So it may be that someone has left their old way of life and they've come back a new person. It also shows you, as I said, the ones that may have felt so hopeless. Look at this one, holding on and not knowing. You don't have to leave this planet in order to start your life over. You don't have to go off and ghost and go into the wilds and become a ghost in order to start your life over again. Some people, I love to see her right then, the hummingbird. You will accomplish what may feel impossible to yourself. And she's drinking, so she's listening. Some people are so disillusioned and so hurt by what's happened in their life that they feel the need to completely isolate themselves and cut themselves off from society 100%, as if they no longer exist in this world. I have a cousin who did that. He didn't like the way the world was going, and he literally, I love him. He's my favorite cousin. He's most like my twin. And he went and he lived on an Indian reservation and lives in a teepee, and for the longest time he isolated himself for years, wouldn't associate with anyone, would get his food but then would go in and separate himself from the world. He felt safe there. He was angry at the world. But Spirit's telling you that that's not healthy for you to do. You don't have to do that. You don't have to leave in order to start over and start new. There's energy changing in this world. And you've got the ability to rebirth yourself into a new life without staying isolated. Maybe go to a different place and start new. Maybe go somewhere calmer. But you don't have to go ghost. You don't have to disappear like the dead. This is a choice you've made in your mind, and you think that this is what you need to do. But that's a form of running still. You're not facing reality. You're not facing your life. And you're not allowing Spirit to help you. It's the same thing as people who feel so hopeless that they commit suicide. They just don't see a way out. And the only way they feel is to just disappear. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to disappear. Spirit loves you. And your soul family loves you. And even if the ones that you thought were supposed to love you let you down and left you behind, You are loved. And you don't have to disappear like this little one here. I won't disappear with someone in order for them to remove themselves from their life, previous life. It's not healthy. That's the first message. I think I understand what Spirit's telling. I just had a letter written to me by one of our soul family. She says it was very sad yesterday, right up until I drifted off to sleep. This morning was better, but very, very melancholy moments and tears. The full moon always messes with emotions. This is a Beaver supermoon in Taurus, and it affects people of the love of Venus, people of the planet of love, Venus. A moon that brings out romance and magic. The ability is there. We got that. I read that to you yesterday. The ability is there for deepening of relationships, but there's also that stubbornness that comes from the bull, right? And if you don't make the right decision, they may be stubborn and break off relationships. So you have to listen. You have to listen to both sides. You have to be calm and realize it's not all the way you're seeing it. You have to take into everybody's perspective. Maybe give yourself a little time. Right? You know, there's a lot in this world that's really, really sad and that's negative. I see it all the time. I looked this morning on, you know, as I woke up, I was up in the middle of the night. I woke up like at 1:30 and I was up till 4. And so I scrolled and looked at my memory feeds from a couple of years ago and, you know, things that came back. And but I saw a lot of things on Facebook that made me really upset. A lot of animal abuse, mostly animal abuse, and then places in the country, different parts of the country where there were protests in France and different places where people were being blown up and violence. And you just, you know, you see that, and for people like us, people that are empathic people, it's so overwhelming that you just want to disappear. You just don't want to be a part of that. See, I understand that feeling because that's how I felt in the middle of the night. I just don't want to be there. I always said I want to go where the people aren't, right? But you don't have to go completely away from everything and everyone. That's why I like Sedona. You know, it's quiet. It's a spiritual community. And one just flipped out. And there's a lot of alone time and quiet, but you still have, there is life around you, and it's far enough removed from cities and the goings-on of the things around that you're not affected as you are here, like where I live in California and other major cities. So that's more my speed, you know. But I couldn't go completely 100% off the grid, isolated. It won't allow me to live in my soul's path. So, miracle. This person is asking for a miracle. Crossing their heart. And they're helping you. This angel's coming forward. This is the one who stands between life and death. There's a lot about that right now, isn't there? I kept getting again and again. The Day of the Dead, over and over. So she's here to help you find a perfect treatment to help restore your well-being naturally and healthy. Like I was just saying, you know? Maybe the right doctor, the right treatment, the right healing mode, the right attitude, the right energy to overcome this challenge that you've been dealing with. And help you draw from this powerful energy from her heart chakra. This is spirit to help you revive your own energy and your belief in the possibility of health again. It could be mental health, you know? Help you find the courage to face your physical life because it's overwhelming. And the courage to take your life back and to show you that it takes great courage, but it will bring great blessings to you. She's going to help you shift your mind and your health and your body. Whether this is, as I said, a physical injury or simply ill at ease that you have living in this world. She's going to show you how to change your current circumstance. She's done it for many. So many that have the anguish of pain and despair and abuse and fear that just doesn't seem to end. It keeps replaying in their mind, and the only way they feel they can handle it is to just disappear. But she's going to show you how to create this health and strength and stop being so frightened. Maybe of growing old, right? because your body's changing, but she's going to help you make your body be as strong and healthy as it possibly can. And this isn't our only life. We're going to go back into spirit. So many people are afraid of this. Maybe there are health challenges right now. Maybe there's physical health challenges. Maybe there's mental health challenges. What if you had only just a short period of time to live? What would you do? Spirit wants you to start acting like that. Right? Because if you had just a short period of time, you would speak to the people you haven't spoken to. You would reprioritize, and you would start realizing that my life isn't about my work. My work is to help me have a life. Right? You would begin to reshape your life in ways where you understood that I don't have a lot of time to mess around, you know? So she's saying, don't hesitate, take action, do what you can to change what can be changed. This is a fork in the road. It's a big one, right? This current situation, actually, what you've gone through, it actually helped you, because it's helped you realize what is truly valuable, and it needs to show you what the neglect has been, where you can move forward with priorities that are based on what is in your highest good. And she's encouraging you to make this healing happen, either yours or someone close to you, and make it a priority. Maybe you're the one that's going to help somebody. I'm a master healer. I have healing hands. I have that energy. That's one of my gifts. And I use it, and I've helped people. I've saved my cat. I know that I've done that for other people as well. Helped because I'm a channel. Spirit uses me as a channel. And there's many of us out there. Mental health can be changed. Physical health can be changed. I work with people all the time, and I've watched people go from horrible circumstances and blossom into something completely different. We all have that ability. We saw the hummingbird. You will accomplish what you might think is impossible for yourself or for others. There she is again, see? Don't give up. Spirit never gives up on you. See, she's taking a little bit of a rest when she takes in that knowledge. Because when she comes up to drink, that's her listening. And I hope you're listening too. Okay, next message. I have a feeling that someone wants to isolate me from my work, and maybe it's because they feel I give too much of myself to my work. And as I said before, I know that it might be because they haven't had the attention that they should have had by the ones that were supposed to love them. And they worry that I won't give that attention as well. But you know what? You can love everyone. You can love a lot of people, and it builds. When you love, the more people you love, the more love you have to give. It isn't about your physical time, and your energy. Yes, that's one thing. You can't give too much energy and spread yourself too thin. You're definitely the ones you love are your focus. I mean, when Lily was sick, Liger, I cared for him, but my attention was on Lily. She needed me, so my attention went there. So if somebody in my life that I'm very close to needs me, my attention will be on them, because that's my priority, right? But you can't be jealous of love that's given to others, because you feel you're somehow, if you love that person, you can't love me. I'm thinking about my ex-husband and his new wife. When we split up, we weren't friends for a couple of years. It was rough, and then we started to be friends, and we hung out for 7 years. He was my best friend. I loved him. I still love him. He's a great guy. But then he met his girlfriend, and he used to introduce me to all the girls and get my opinion. If I didn't like them, he cut them loose because he knew that I wanted what was in his highest good. And when I met her, the minute I laid eyes on her, I knew she was the one. She was perfect for him. She was absolutely his gift. And I told him that. And he started being a bit of a jerk. He didn't want to give up his freedom. And I said, I don't know about you, but I'm going to keep her in my life because she's amazing. And I worked with them both for 6 months. It took 6 months of him acting like that. And I told her to be strong and don't talk to him, and she had to trust me. And I was on her side, and she did trust me. And he would write to me, and he would say, I think she's dating people. Is she dating other people? And I would say, probably she should. She's amazing. You're an idiot, You've just been given the greatest gift on the planet and you're throwing it away? What's wrong with you? Anyway, she was crying and scared because she thought he was going to move on. And I kept saying, no, you don't understand. He loves you. He loves you. He's just scared to give in, you know? And she did. She had to trust me. I could have been manipulative and lying and deceptive and trying to keep them apart. But she trusted me. She knew. And in the end, I moved away. Spirit had me move away. And I went to Wisconsin and I was told, you need to cut the cords and you need to call him and you need to let him know that you need to end this because he's holding on to you. And because he's holding on to you, he can't move forward in his life and you won't be able to move forward in a healthy way. So I know I've told you guys this story before, but I need to tell it again for somebody. There's a reason it needs to be said. So I remember I had just decided to stay in Wisconsin. I was so far away from everyone, right? And I was lonely, and he kept writing to me saying, you need to come home, you need to come home. You know, he was my best friend. And I said, I'm not, this is my path. I need to stay here. And he said, but you're my best friend. And finally I said to him, you need to let me go. And he said, what are you talking about? And I said, I can't be your best friend. And he said, you're my best friend. He was crying. I was crying. I'm telling you, it was the most horrible thing because I loved him. He was my best friend. I trusted him. He's the only one I trusted. And I was alone out there. But I knew, and Spirit told me I had to do this. And I knew he wouldn't move on because he was holding on to me like a safety net, you know? And I said, I know you don't understand my work and you don't understand my path, but you need to agree to cut cords with me. I need to let you go because you need to move forward. And I can't be your best friend anymore. She's your girlfriend and she loves you and you love her and she needs to be your best friend. That's where your focus needs to be with her. And he cried and I cried and he said, okay. And I told her afterwards, and you know, that was the day, I think I told you guys this. I lost my vision before I went to Wisconsin, just before. Like literally I had to start wearing these cheaters. I couldn't see. It happened really quickly. And Spirit told me before I did what I did with my ex that something was going to be asked of me. And when I did what I was meant to do, I was going to be shown that Spirit was so loudly guiding me. There would be no doubt in my mind that what I did was the right thing and that Spirit was guiding me. And so when I hung up the phone from him, I got a text message and I looked down at my phone and he said I did it. And I had this little flip phone and I was looking at the phone and he said something else, I don't remember, but I didn't have my glasses. I left my glasses that day. It was sunny and I'd gone across the steel bridge and on the other side of town and I didn't have my readers. And I realized that I was reading this message on this little tiny phone. And then I thought, I can't be seeing this. This can't be happening, right? Maybe it's the tears in my eyes that are magnifying the print. So I opened up my Facebook page and I went to look and I read everything clearly. For an hour, my vision was back 100% crystal clear for an hour. And then it went again. But that was my sign from Spirit that I did what I was meant to do. And it was a miracle that I had my vision back for an hour. It was amazing. But it was gone again. It was taken again. So that was also Spirit telling me that I needed to see through my third eye, not through my literal eyes. And I also needed to trust what I was doing was right. And even though I was so scared to be there by myself and leave my family, that's where I was meant to be. And shortly afterwards, that was, I think, around December. And in February, he wrote to me. I mean, we stayed friends. We talked, both of us. We all talked together, though, this time. They would call me together, and they would write me together. They sent me a Christmas present together. It was really awesome for them. And I was really, really happy for them because she's amazing. And I was never jealous because it wasn't about that for us. He was only ever supposed to be my friend. You know, I was, I think, the catalyst, maybe for them. And, you know, you look back at things and you realize why things happen. It doesn't make sense at the time. But in February, he called me. He was all excited and he said, because he was going to get engaged to this other girl before and he had this ring. And he says, I want to give Julie a ring for Valentine's Day. You think I could give her this old ring? And I said, no, you can't give her somebody else's ring. And he said, why? It was $3,000.
And I said, because it was meant for someone else. The energy in that ring was meant to go to someone else. And he says, I won't get any money for it if I go to sell it. And I said, I don't care. You can't give her that ring. Period. And I talked to her privately afterwards, and I was right. She would have flipped out if she got that ring, because it with the energy and the intention on that ring meant something, and it was meant to go to another. It should not have gone to her. Do you know what's interesting? I just remembered my dream, and I watched this last night. It must have been a replay, because I literally watched rings at a pawn shop. And when you get a ring from a pawn shop, you need to clear the energy, because it holds energy, especially if it's a vintage ring, which vintage rings are so beautiful. I love them, but you need to make sure that you clear the energy, right? Because any object holds others' energy, and it's very, very important. It can cause problems in your life. So anyway, he was really mad at me when I told him that. I mean, he got so mad he hung up on me, and I just said, all right, whatever, you know. So then he called me back. And he said he had gone to the store and he found another ring, and if he put that ring down, he could, since it was brand new, they would take it in trade, so he wasn't going to lose his money. And I said, you're going to give her a but he had to pay a little more for it, right? So I said, you're going to give her a $3,500 ring for Valentine's Day? And I knew what it was. He just didn't want to admit it yet. This was an engagement ring. And he said, I don't care. And this is a man who doesn't spend his money easily, I've got to tell you. And it was a $3,500 ring. Anyway, he gave her the ring, and very, very shortly after that, it was announced, and they were engaged, and they got married, and she's my best friend in California, I got to tell you. And I don't really talk to him much. I haven't seen him in a long time. But you guys probably see my posts. Her name is Julie, and she's my best friend, and she's freaking amazing. But I got to tell you, I'm saying this for someone else, and I don't know who it is, but clearly I'm feeling the energy of it. It's very emotional. So it might be that I watched this last night in my dream, somebody with an ex girlfriend or boyfriend, and they're best friends, but they're in love with someone else. And the one that used to be with them still loves them, but they don't love them that way, and they don't want to give up either friendship. They want them both because they mean so much. It would be like, me having to never be friends with Ken and Julie again. But see, gradually as time went by, Ken moved on into his life with his new wife, and though if I see him, we're friends. It's Julie that I associate with. I don't talk to Ken. I don't hang out with Ken. I don't see Ken because that's not what's supposed to happen. I'm not his life anymore. That's his life, and it was just it was a transition period. But it's very difficult to let go of ones that you love, and it doesn't mean that you can't be friends with people that you were with in the past. It's just a different situation, and I watched something in my dream the other night. I watched someone that I love with his best friend, and he loves her. He loved her very, very much. He loves everything about her. She's fun. She loves animals. I think I told you guys about it. And I looked at her and I said, wow, I love her too. I think she's awesome. Just like me and Julie. I love Julie too, right? But just like we got the message, about two kittens. Remember, you got to make a choice. One's place is not with you, and one's is. One is your soulmate, and one is not. And you need to make that choice between the two, just like I did, And then eventually everything moves forward, and then it's okay. But while you're in that place, it's hard. Sorry, I did the cards wrong. I wasn't listening to what I said before, but clearly Spirit needed that message to be said. So we were going to do one from the Angel Tarot, and I think we're just going to do one from this deck. So all of that was very personal information, but that's how I tell my stories. So I know that it applies to somebody right now because I've actually just been shown that there is somebody with this story. It just came to mind just now. And there's no need for jealousy. Oh, wow, you guys. And there it is. There it is. So I was right. Okay. Well, that's the story. You have two kittens you're holding in your hands. Now, the story I just gave you was two people that you love very much. In that one instance, one is an ex and one is the one you love now. You love them both. They're both your best friends. This has been your friend forever. She completely understands you. She totally gets you. I know everything about Ken. I get him so well. I knew more about him than his new wife, clearly, because I'd been with him. He'd been my best friend for so many years. He was so comfortable with me.
And you know, Julie wasn't jealous of my relationship because I was so respectful of their relationship. Always so respectful. Knew that that person was the one he was meant to be with and not me. I didn't text him. I didn't call him. I didn't do things with him. I stepped aside and handed him completely to his new love because that's where he's supposed to be. So this is the position that you're in right now. You have these two kittens and you need to choose between them. And it's breaking your heart, just like it did me that day. How can I make this choice? I love them both. You know, whenever I see this message, I always thought it was about me and Lily and Liger. Like if somebody were to say to me, you have to choose Lily or Liger, I won't. I won't choose Lily or Liger. But this is about relationships. And you can't have both. So this may be that instance, right? Two relationships, a best friend and a new love. And they both love you. And you feel like you have to leave one to have the other. There's a way to have both friends in your life, but it has to be done in a very respectful way, like I did it. I was very honorable. I followed Spirit's guidance, and even though it was very, very hard for me, I knew it was the right thing to do, right? And I knew what Spirit's telling you is, whatever this is, you're so afraid that the one that you leave behind is not going to have someone to love them, right? And at the time, Ken felt sad. He felt like I was deserting him. That's the face, crying, sadness, right? But I knew that the one that was in his life was his soulmate. She's the love of his life. She is exactly what he's supposed to be with. And his time of sadness was very short-lived, and he filled it quickly with her, right? I was the one that was left on my own. But then my life moved forward, too. It was hard for me, but, you know, I gained a really good friend. I gained a beautiful, beautiful woman who's so amazing. She's just, you know what's funny, you guys? See how much they look alike? I saw myself this in a dream the other night. Remember I told you guys that I saw someone who looked like me, and they called me. I said, I'm not her. I'm not the same person. I'm my own person. I didn't want to be like her. We all want to be unique and individual, right? But you guys, when you look at my pictures of her and I, you call us the twins because we look alike, and we are very much alike in so many ways. It's amazing, you know? So clearly this person is drawn to the same kind of people, right? But one is meant to be a friend and one is meant to be a lover, and you know who it is. So if you're worrying that the one isn't going to have someone to love, you're wrong. They will find the right one for them, because the right one for them is not you. And they're going to be cared for. And they aren't going to be mad at you. I wasn't mad at Ken. He wasn't mad at me, right? There isn't a wrong choice. But and they're not going to feel abandoned and angry the way you feel. They're not going to be harmed. But your test is that you need to choose right now. This is it. You can't have both. And if it's not a relationship, it may be two jobs, two choices for two different schools. It could just be two friends. Or it could be two animals that you want to take care of. You feel protective. You want to care for both, but you can't be there 100% for both. So maybe you have to adopt one and not the other. Whatever it is, one has to be left. Its rightful place is not with you. And the universe has shown you, and has shown you again and again many times, you need to let this one go. And right now, you've been willfully not making a decision, refusing to make a choice. But you've been causing pain for everyone. And the pain you're responsible for the pain that everyone is feeling. Yourself and both of these two, because it's like prolonging agony. You're slowly ripping a bandage off. This bandage has to come off. It's going to come off. Because you will never be with this one. You're not in love with this one. Whatever that choice is. You're not in love with that choice. That's not the choice you want. That's your choice. And so this passivity that you were holding on to is causing so much pain. So you need to understand right now there is no more compromise. No compromise. The choice has got to be made. And everybody's pain, all the suffering that is happening is because of you not making the choice. So the song right now, you don't want me to move, but you tell me to go. You need to make up your mind. So this is the message. You need to make up your mind. Whatever it is, whatever, 2 jobs, two schools, 2 loves, better make up your mind. I'm going to ask for one more, even though this is a very long reading, and we have today's reading. I'm just going to ask for a message, and if I get the message that I think I'm going to get, I'll do it, and if I don't, I won't, because I feel like I'm supposed to tell you this message or share this message with you. And, you know, it's another message I'm getting right now. It could be that someone's jealous of your past of a family, you know, a connection to someone in the past. Like somebody that I was connected to in Wisconsin, that's my soul family. I love that family. But I'm not connected to the person that I was connected to there. It's the family that I'm connected to. And there should be no jealousy about that, because it's not the person, it's the family. And they'll understand what I'm saying. Nope, that's not it. So I'm going to leave it. Good, because I don't have time. So that's the messages. I'm sorry, it was very, very emotional, but wow, I knew that was what was meant to come up. And now I understand my dreams that I've been watching for the last several days. I've been watching this. I've watched the rings that didn't fit. I watched, you know, somebody tried to put a ring on, and it was from the past, and it was someone connected to their work, I think. And it didn't fit. It just kept rejecting. It kept bouncing off the finger. Somebody put a ring on the finger, and it just was too small. It didn't fit. And then, as I said, I watched somebody with a person that they love very much. And I said to myself, wow, I think they're really cool too. I love them. I love them too. I understand. I get it, you know? And it's what it is. So I hope you understand. And if this doesn't apply to you, you can just allow it to go past. But I do know that there are a few people right now that I know that this applies to. So I hope this has helped you. Wow. And you know, I'm feeling somebody's pain. It's not only mine. This is exhausting for me. So this is one of the reasons why, if someone in my life really needs my attention at this time, I will probably pull away from doing as much work as I'm doing, because it does take a lot of energy out of me when these feelings channel through me. So Spirit's been saying that for quite a while, that, you know, you may be shutting down websites, you may be, which may be my Keen website, you may be taking a break for some time to heal, and maybe be with someone else that needs to heal and help on maybe a more private level. So I have told you guys this for a while, and, you know, it may be coming, so we'll see what Spirit has in mind. You know, it's always in the highest good, right? And I'm not the only person out there that people have to look to for help. There's a lot of my soul family that's out there. So if I do go off the grid for a while, you know, or not so available, please do reach out to each other in our soul family. I think that's probably why Spirit had me pull together that soul family, you know, and we connect as we do live like that. And I would hope that if I were to go, that somebody else would step in maybe and take over. Or maybe that's what I'll just do, is come back on and do that, you know? Maybe that's what I'll do. Who knows? I just, for some reason, I'm feeling the need to say this. So, all right. I love you guys. Have a fantastic day. And I'll speak to you later when I do our week's reading that's coming up. And yes, I will ask, you know, for the first part of the week, the middle part of the week, the second part. Because somebody, you know, people have been asking about time frames. And it's good to kind of have an idea, right? All right. We'll speak again later. Peace, love, and light.